a force. So, moment of a force. So, pag sinabing moment of a force, so it is a measure of its tendency to cause a body to rotate. No? To cause a body to rotate about a specific point that is not on the line of action of the force. No? So, measure of the tendency to cause a body to rotate. So, or to twist. No? So, that is moment of a force or moment. No? Moment lang, pwede yun. Halimbawa, no? So, meron kang wrench. No? So, sa wrench mo, so meron kang bolt, no? With 0.0. No? So, ibig sabihin ng 0.0, so, diyan natin makikita yung rotation. No? When a force is applied to the wrench. So, halimbawa, so, meron kang downward force. No? So, kung meron kang downward force na in-apply doon sa wrench, no? So, dito, so, magkakaroon ng rotation doon sa 0.2. No? So, ang nangyari, no, nung downward force ang in-apply, so nagkaroon ng moment, no, na or ng rotation. So, yung direction ng rotation, no, counter clockwise. So, tandaan, para magkaroon ka ng moment, so kailangan mo na force, no? No, kailangan mo na applied force to sa object, no? Then, sabi sa definition, no, yung rotation, no, yung point of rotation, so wala doon sa line of action ng force. So, lagi yung tatandaan. Ang point of rotation, wala sa line of action ng force. No? Kung ito yung force mo, ito yung line of action. No? So, nakita natin sa figure, no? Ang point of rotation, so wala doon sa line of action ng force. No? So, kung upward force naman, no, ang apply mo, no, pataas, so ang magiging moment niya, no, or yung rotation at 0.0, that will be clockwise rotation, no, or clockwise moment. So, yun yung tatandaan natin. Measure of its tendency to cause a body to rotate. No? So, yun po. So, the magnitude of moment, no? So, M sub O, no? Yung magiging notation natin, M sub O. No? Ibig sabihin nun, moment at 0.0. No? No? So, yun po. So, M sub O, so that is equal to, no, force times D. No? So, F is the applied force and D is the moment arm, no? Or perpendicular distance from the axis, no, at 0.0, no? Center of moment or moment center to the line of action of the force. No? So, tandaan, moment is equal to force times the perpendicular distance. No? So, perpendicular distance from moment center, no, moment center to the line of action of the force. So, laging tatandaan na perpendicular distance yun. No? Yung T. So, F times T. No? So, yun po. So, gawin mo, no, para malaman yung perpendicular distance, no? So, i-draw mo yung line of action ng force, no? Then, gawa ka ng perpendicular distance, perpendicular, no, to the line of action of force F, no? And that perpendicular distance, no, must intersect the center moment, no, or moment center. So, bawa ito. Yeah. So, that is perpendicular distance. Ayun. So, that is the moment arm. No? So, laging gano'n. No? Moment is equal to force times perpendicular distance. So, the magnitude of the moment, no, is directly proportional to the magnitude of F, and the perpendicular distance or moment R. So, yun. So, magnitude is directly proportional to force F. No? So, kung malaki ang force F mo, no? So, magiging malaki din yung moment. No? Yung value ng moment. So, pag lumiit si force, magiging maliit din yung moment. Then, perpendicular also to the directly proportional also to the perpendicular distance. No? So habang lumalayo, so yung applied force F mo dun sa moment center mo, so lumalaki din yung moment. So kapag lumiliit yung perpendicular distance, no? So lumiliit din yung moment. So yun po. Tandaan. So moment is directly proportional to the force and the perpendicular distance. So, ang unit natin for moment, so pwedeng Newton meter or pound foot or pound feet. So, ayan yung dalawa nating sir sa physics namin, no? Yung Newton meter, yung ginagawa namin joule. No? Kasi ano yun sir eh? Unit of work. No? Di ba ang work is force times displacement. So, ano pinagkaiba ni moment sa work? So, may idea? May idea? So, magkaiba yan. Na pag sinabing work kasi, so merong displacement. No? Merong change in the position of the object. No? Kaya nga displacement. No? While dito, sa moment, so that is force times perpendicular distance. Walang change in position. No? Yung din natin, so that is the distance from the line of action of the force F and the moment center. No? Kaya magkaiba yan. Kaya hindi natin ginagawang joule yung Newton meter. No? Okay. So, mali yan. So, wag gagawin yan. No? Kapag nag-compute, nakita Newton meter, so wag gagawin joule. No? So, Newton meter yan. No? So, has that to say moment. No? So, if the force F is applied at an angle other than 90 degrees, then it will be more difficult to turn since the moment arm will be smaller. No? So kapag ang naka-angle daw yung force F, no? So, lumiliit yung perpendicular distance. So, kapag lumiliit yung perpendicular distance, so mahirap daw, no? Magkaroon or lumiliit yung moment value. No? So, kung apply mo in real life, no? So, tawag dito. So, mahirap daw magkaroon ng rotation. No? Kapag ang force F is not perpendicular. No? So, ayun. So, it will be more difficult to turn. No? Because the moment arm will be smaller. So, ibig sabihin, kung gusto mo, maximum, so dapat naka 90 degrees. No? So, yung force, okay. Kapag naka-angle yan, so lumiliit. No? Lumiliit yung perpendicular distance. So, yun yung tatandaan. Then, no, if F is applied along the object, its moment arm will be 0 since the line of action of F will intersect the point O. No? As a result, the moment of F about O is also 0 and no turning can occur. So, yeah. No? So, yung force mo, the line of action of the force is along the object, no? Or yung line of action ng force F mo nag-intersect doon sa moment center, no? So, walang turning na magaganap or walang rotation na magaganap, no? So, kapag ganyan, no, your perpendicular distance is 0. Okay. So, F, no, the line of action of the point, the line of action of the force F intersect the moment center. So, D is equal to 0. Kaya pag kinumpit mo yung moment at point O, so that is force times perpendicular distance. No? So, force times 0, so that is 0. Pag 0 moment, so ibig sabihin mo, walang rotation, walang turning na nagaganap. No? Kaya nga sabi sa definition kanina, dapat yung point of rotation wala sa line of action ng force. No? So, diba, kung in-apply mo pa, no? Diba, yung force F mo, in-apply mo doon mismo, directly at the moment center mo, no? So, walang rotation na mangyayari. No? Zero moment. No? So, lagi yung tatandaan. No? If the line of action of the force F intersect the moment center, the moment is 0. No? If the force is acting on the moment center, so the moment is 0. No? So, lagi po yung tatandaan. Then, a moment also has a sense. No? So, a clockwise rotation about the center of moments will be considered positive moment, while a counterclockwise rotation about the center of moments will be considered negative. No? So kung clockwise direction, so positive moment. Negative or counterclockwise, so that is negative moment. So ayun yung sign convention na gagamitin natin sa lahat, sa mga susunod na topics. No? So ayun tayo. So itong convention. No? Para uniform tayo. No? So uniform. So laging clockwise, positive. Then counterclockwise, negative. So, lagi po yan. So, wala akong makikita na negative, ay na counterclockwise positive. Then, clockwise negative na moment. So, dito tayo. Clockwise positive moment, counterclockwise negative moment. No? Kasi sa ibang books, ang gamit nila, clockwise negative, counterclockwise positive. So, pwede naman yun. No? Pero sa atin, for uniformity, no? So, clockwise positive, counterclockwise negative. No? So, makikita ko to kung susundin nyo to sa quiz. No? Quiz and exams. No? So, pero all throughout the discussion, clockwise positive, counterclockwise negative tayo. Then, resultant moment. So, the resultant moment about point 2, so can be determined by finding the algebraic sum of the moments caused by the all forces in this system. Yeah. Or yung general formula natin, no? So, resultant moment at point O is equal to summation of force times perpendicular distance. So, ito yung tatandaan natin. Yung general formula. Then, sa pagsasolve ng moment, no? So, una, i-assume natin yung direction. No? So, halimbawa, ito. So, clockwise, positive. No? So, apply natin dito sa figure na to. No? So, meron tayong three forces. So, F1, F2, and F3. No? So, applying this formula, resultant moment is equal to summation of force times perpendicular distance. So, titingnan mo, no? So, magmo-moment ka at point O, clockwise positive. No? So, una, F1. No? So, F1 times perpendicular distance. So, titingnan mo, ano yung magiging direction ng moment produced by F1. No? So, dito, sa figure natin, yung moment na mapoproduce ni F1 is counterclockwise. No? So, ang convention natin, clockwise positive, counterclockwise negative. So, isulat natin doon, no? Sa right side ng equation. So, that is negative F1 times T1. No? So, negative. So, kasi, yung moment na mapoproduce ni F1 is negative moment. No? So, yun po. So, kasi nga, counterclockwise. Next, F2. So, ito. Si F2, no? So, force times D, so that is F2 times D2. So, positive yung moment. No, kasi, yung moment na mapoproduce ni F2 at point O is a clockwise direction. No? So, ito, clockwise direction. Kaya positive. No? Then, next, F3. No? So, F3 times D3. So, negative, no? Kasi yung moment na mapoproduce ni F3 at point O is counterclockwise direction. Kaya negative moment. So, ganun yung pag-apply. So, titingnan mo, yung sa sign, no? Ayun yung nakakalito dun eh. Yung sign ng moment. No? So, titignan mo, ano yung magiging rotation niya at the moment center. No? So, if the numerical result of this sum is a positive, no, resultant moment will be clockwise moment. No? Kung pinag-add mo na lahat yan, then positive, so that is a clockwise. Now, if the result is negative, no, so that is a counterclockwise movement. So, yun yung sign convention natin. O, example tayo. No? Halimbawa ito. So, determine the moment of the force about point O. No? Moment at point O. No? So, formula natin for moment. No? So, moment is equal to force times perpendicular distance. Okay. Then, so pag magsasolve tayo, no? So, clockwise, positive. So, may assumption tayo ng moment direction. No? So, gawin natin. So, clockwise, positive. So, M sub O. No? Or meron kang moment at point O, clockwise, positive. No? So, dito, no? So, binabanggit natin, no, yung sign convention natin, no, that all moments, no, which is clockwise, in clockwise direction, so that is a positive moment. So, moment at point O, clockwise positive, so that is equal to, so force times perpendicular distance. No? So, dito, so ang force natin is 100 Newton times perpendicular distance, so that is 2 meters. So, 100 Newton times 2 meters. So, moment at point O, so that is equal to 200 Newton meter. So, 200 Newton meter, positive. So, ibig sabihin, yung moment natin, no, at point O is positive moment and the direction is clockwise, no? Clockwise direction. Moment at point O, clockwise, positive, no? So, equal to force, so 40 pounds, times, ano yung perpendicular distance? No? So, kailangan mo makuha itong horizontal distance na to. No? From 4 feet, no? Hanggang dun sa line of action na force. No? Ano yung distance nila? Kasi, hinahanap natin perpendicular distance. No? So, ito si point O. Ito yung line of action. Then, ito yung perpendicular distance. No? So, yung horizontal. No? So, that is 4 feet plus x. Para ma-solve mo si x, no? So, di ba? That is a right triangle. No? So, i-isolate mo. So, x, 30 degrees, and 2 feet. So, x is adjacent side. So, that is cosine 30 equal to, no, x over 2. No? Or meron kang x equal to 2 times cosine 30 degrees. No? So, that is 4 plus x. So, that is 40 pounds plus, times 4 plus 2 cosine 30 degrees. No? So, multiply mo. So, 40 times 4 plus 2 cosine 30. Ano sagot? 229.282 pound feet. So, that is the moment at point O. Yeah. So, determine the moment of the force about point O. So, ano daw yung magiging moment, no, or turning effect ng force F at point O. No? So, formula natin, so to solve for the moment, so that is moment at point O is equal to force times perpendicular distance. So, clockwise, positive. No? So, dito, so meron na tayong force F. No? So, that is 5 kilonewton times the perpendicular distance. So, dito, so indicate na yung perpendicular distance. So, ito yun, yung T. So, ano yung value ng T? Ano yung value ng perpendicular distance? So, the given figure, so masasolve natin yung perpendicular distance using trigonometry. So, yung length ng object natin, so that is the hypotenuse. So, ito. Then, mag-create siya ng right triangle. No? Yung perpendicular distance, saka yung length ng object. Then, binigay yung angle na to, 75 degrees. Meron tayong right triangle. So, perpendicular distance is the opposite side of the angle 75. So, gagamitin natin is yung sin theta equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So, D is the opposite side of the angle 75. So, that is the opposite side. And hypotenuse, so that is 3 meters. Ang magiging formula natin to solve for D, that is D is equal to opposite side. So, opposite side is equal to, cross multiply, hypotenuse, so that is 3 meters times the sine angle. Sin theta is 75 degrees. So, we have 75 degrees. So, D is equal to 3 times sine 75. No? Substitute natin sa formula. So, times 3 meters sine 75 degrees. So, moment at point O is equal to 5 kilonewton times 3 times sine 75. So, that is equal to
14.48
14.489
kilonewton meter.
kilonewton meter. No, very good. No. So that is the moment at point O. So that is a uh, clockwise moment. So positive. So ano lang. So that is sample problem number. So next, examples. So determine the resultant moment produced by the forces about point O. So resultant at point O. So formula natin, and that is moment resultant at point O. So equal to summation of force times perpendicular distance. No, clockwise, positive. So unahin natin si 600 Newton. So ano yung direction ng moment na maproproduce ni 600 Newton? Clockwise, counterclockwise. Ano po?
Clockwise, sir.
So
Clockwise.
clockwise moment. So positive yung sign ng moment ng 600 Newton. So that is 600 Newton times perpendicular distance, so that is 1 meter. Okay po. Next. Next natin itong 300 Newton. So ano ang moment na mapuproduce ng 300 Newton? Either clockwise or counterclockwise direction.
Clockwise po.
Ayun, very good. So that is clockwise. So positive 300 Newton times the perpendicular distance. So what is the perpendicular distance of 300 Newton? So to compute, no, for the perpendicular distance, no, so ano yan? So una, no, pakita natin yung line of action ng 300 Newton. No? So pag line of action ng 300 Newton, so yun, na-extend natin. So that is the horizontal. No? So perpendicular distance niya is yung vertical distance. No? Vertical distance from point O to point of application ng 300 Newton. No? So that is perpendicular. No? So ano yung length na to? So para makompute natin yan, so titingin tayo sa inclined part ng object natin. No? So di ba sa object natin, yung elbow niya, so naka-inclined ng 45 degrees. No? So from this, no? So pwede tayong mag-create ng right triangle. No? So ito yung 45, yung part na naka-incline. Then, extend lang natin to. Yung line of action ng 500. Then, horizontal. Meron tayong right triangle. No? So, perpendicular distance, no? So itong height na to. Tawagin natin siyang T. No? Isolate natin. That is 45 degrees. Then yung hypotenuse, so yung length ng inclined portion ng object, so that is 2.5 meters. Then, yung perpendicular distance ng 300 Newton ay yung opposite side ng 45 degrees. So that is D, the opposite side. So, D is the opposite side, so gagamit tayo ng sine function. So, sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So, formula natin for D, so that is D is equal to 2.5 meter sine theta. No? That's, theta natin is 45 degrees. No? So, that is 2.5 meters times sine 45 degrees. No? So, meron na tayong D. So, multiply natin sa 300 Newton. So, that is 300 Newton times 2.5 meter times sine 45 degrees. No? So, yun. So, that is the moment of 300 Newton. No? So, next, 500 Newton. Ano yung moment na mapuproduce ng 500 Newton? Clockwise, counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise.
So that is counterclockwise moment. No? So counterclockwise moment, so that is negative. So negative 500 Newton, no, times the perpendicular distance. No? Ano yung perpendicular distance na 300 Newton? No? So, extend natin yung line of action ng 500 Newton. So ito yun. Sabahin natin yung kulay. So, ito yung line of action ng 500. Then, gawa tayo ng perpendicular line. The line of action intersecting the uh, line of action of the 500 meter. So, ito yun. So, that is perpendicular. So, itong red line na to, so that is the perpendicular distance, no, between the 500 Newton force and the moment center. So, ano yung length na yan? So, sa object natin, given na yung 1 meter sa yung 2 meters. So, that is from point O hanggang doon sa bago doon sa portion na naka-incline yung object natin. Ang problema na lang natin, so ano yung length na to? Ano yung length ng horizontal portion na yun? So, to solve for that, so balikan natin yung right triangle na nabuo. So, yung portion na to, so that is the adjacent side of the right triangle. Ito yun. So, to solve for the adjacent side, so tabagin natin siya, dx, no? Adjacent side. So, gagamit tayo ng cosine function. The cosine function, cosine theta, so that is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So, solving for the perpendicular, solving for dx, so that is, dx is equal to hypotenuse 2.5 meters times cosine theta. Or meron tayo 2.5 meter times cosine 45 degrees. So, yun. So, ang perpendicular distance ng 500 Newton is 3 meters, 1 plus 2, plus yung horizontal length nito, yung dx. So that is 2.5 meter times cosine 45 degrees. So, yun na po yung moment ng 500. Then, i-add natin lahat. So, 600 Newton times 1 plus 300 times 2.5 times sine 45 minus 500 Newton times 3 meter plus 2.5 meter times cos 45. The resultant moment at point O is equal to, ang sagot, Enriquez,
Wait lang po, sir.
what is the resultant? Moment resultant at point. Maki-compute. Pumindot sa calculator.
Negative 1253.553 po.
Very good, no? So that is negative 1,253.533 Newton meter. No? So negative, so ibig sabihin, yung moment, no? Yung resultant moment at point O is counterclockwise. No? So pwede nating rewrite yung sagot natin as 1,253.533 Newton meter counterclockwise. Ayun po. So yun yung sagot natin. So that is the moment resultant at point O. Moment, no? Moment of a force. So always remember, moment of a force, so that is force times perpendicular distance. So next, number 5. So determine the resultant moment of the four forces acting on the rod about point O. So meron tayong four forces. So that is 15 Newton downward, 16 Newton to the right, 20 Newton to the left, 40 Newton to the uh, downward. No? So, four forces. So, hanapin daw natin yung resultant moment at point O. No? So, ito. So, yun pa rin ang formula natin. Moment resultant at point O, so that is equal to summation of forces times the perpendicular distance clockwise positive. So, clockwise positive tayo lang para uniform. So, yun. So, una, no? So, una, 15 Newton. So, ano yung direction ng moment ng 15 Newton? At point
Clockwise
O.
po.
So, clockwise positive, no? Very good. So, that is 50 Newton times, ano yung perpendicular distance? Ng 15 Newton from point O.
Po.
2 meters. No? Very good. Then, 60 Newton. May moment ba yung 60 Newton?
Wala po.
So, wala
Yeah,
po.
sir.
Kasi yung line of action ng 60 Newton, so nag-intersect doon sa moment center natin. Kaya, 0 ang moment ng 60 Newton. No? Very good. Next, itong 40 Newton. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Ano po?
Clockwise.
Clockwise po.
So, clockwise. Very good. So, that's positive 40 Newton times, no, perpendicular distance. No? So, extend mo ulit yung line of action mo. Then, create a line, perpendicular line from point O intersecting the line of action of 40 Newton. So, So that is the perpendicular distance. So, hindi kompleto. No? So, ang meron ka lang doon sa perpendicular distance mo is yung 4 meters. So, wala ka ulit no? From 4 meters from this point hanggang doon sa line of action. So, paano ang gagawin? Para ma-solve yung perpendicular distance. So, tingnan ulit natin yung figure. So, from the figure, so meron tayong nakikitang right triangle. Right triangle, nasa ito yun. So, yung hypotenuse, yung portion na naka-incline, so that is 3 meters. Then, so, meron tayong angle 30 degrees. Ito yun. Angle 30. Then, yung distance, ito, horizontal distance and vertical distance. So, meron tayo right triangle. Isolate natin. Madaling makita. So, this is your angle, 30 degrees, then hypotenuse, 3 meters. No? So, para makuha natin yung perpendicular distance ng 40 and 0.0, so, kailangan natin ma-solve yung adjacent side ng right triangle. So, ito yung 30 degrees, so adjacent side, so ito, horizontal. So, tawagin natin x. So, to solve for x, so that is the adjacent side. So, gamit tayo ng cosine theta. Or is x equal to 3 meters times cosine 30 degrees. So, that is the x. So, ang perpendicular distance natin is 4 meters plus 3 meters times cosine 30. So, 4 meters plus 3 meters cosine 30 degrees. So, that is the perpendicular distance of the 40 Newton. Next, 20 Newton. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Moment ng 20 Newton. Ano po?
Clockwise po.
Clockwise ba? 20?
Zero, sir.
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise po.
So that is counterclockwise. No? So that is negative 20 Newton. So times perpendicular distance. No? Perpendicular distance. So, extend ulit yung line of action sa itong dash line. Gawa ka ng perpendicular line. This is the perpendicular distance. No? So, yung perpendicular distance ng 20 Newton, so, equal siya dito sa line na yun. Or that is the opposite side of the 30 degrees. So, tawagin natin siyang y. No? So, opposite, sine theta. So, y is equal to 3 meters times sine 30 degrees. So, that is the perpendicular distance ng 20 Newton. No? So, 20 Newton times, so 3 meters sine 30 degrees. No? So, yun yung moment na 20. No? Then, solving for resultant at point O. No? So, 15 Newton times 2 meters plus 14 Newton times 4 meter plus 3 meters cosine 30 minus 20 times 3 meters sine 30 degrees. Resultant moment at point O. So, Menil, what is the resultant moment at point O?
Wait lang po, sir.
Ano sagot? Pindot-pindot din tayo sa calculator para ma-practice. Ano sagot, Mini?
222, sir. Ay, Newton. Wait lang po, wait nga lang po.
Huwag kang mataranta, no? Ano lang, chillax lang. Pag nagko-compute, huwag kakabahan. Relax lang, relax.
$333.923, Sir Newton. Tama po.
Newton,
Wait lang po, wait lang po, wait lang po.
Newton. Anong
300
unit? Tama yun, tama. Anong unit? 333.923. Anong unit?
Newton meter po, sir.
Yun, very good. No? So, the resultant
Sensyan
moment
po,
of
sir.
point O, no, is 333.923 Newton meter. So, ayun po. Ganun lang, no? Pagkuha ng moment. And moment. So, paki-practice, no? Yung pagsasolve ng pagkuha ng moment, no? Mga susunod na topics, no? Magagamit pa rin yung si moment result.